Hi everybody, welcome back to MR How to Tech. I always get this question, how do you start a YouTube channel? Well, it's actually kind of simple. If you already have a Google account, chances are you probably already have half of what you need to actually start a YouTube channel. Now, whether you're doing it for a business, whether you're doing it for yourself, there's a lot of legalese, things you can and cannot say. For instance, you really can't be talking about people that, haven't already signed some kind of waiver and all this other stuff. So really what you're looking to do is you're looking to start a YouTube channel based on some interest or some skill set that you have that you think you can do better than others. And really it isn't more than what you probably did as a kid. You put up a few videos in a couple of weeks or a couple of days or a couple of hours, and if you're completely new to YouTube, you're not going to watch a majority of them do anything because they're not going to make any major views because you don't have any traffic. You get traffic through subscribers, through how long you've had your channel up, lots of different things. Now, a lot of people think this is very easy. It's not. It takes a lot of patience. I actually got the bulk of what I know from how to start a YouTube channel from Jacksepticeye and some pointers he gave. I'm not going to repeat those, but I will show you the how to start a YouTube channel, and I'll probably go into some of the little nuances, and I'll show you a couple of my channels. I have one channel that currently has, I believe, 3.5 million views. You think that's a lot, and it really isn't, but it's only been up for about 2 years roughly, so that's an amazing situation. It has over 14, almost 15,000 subscribers. I have one channel that has almost 5,000 subscribers. I have one channel that is pretty much beating them all in various things in terms of how fast it started, how many views you have, and even in terms of like monetization and everything, which I'll go through in another video. And one of the things you really got to know when you start doing this is really what you can and cannot do, and really to keep a consistent pace as to what types of videos you upload. And the biggest thing to remember, folks, is this is actually you actually putting up a video. You don't become some celebrity. You don't, become a star or anything like that until years down the road, probably, unless you invest a lot of money. So whether it's for a small business or a personal channel, it's best just to keep the videos small, to the point. If they're how-tos or various other subjects, you want to kind of make the videos about, I'd say keep them above 10 minutes. If you're doing documentaries and various things like that, make sure the edited footage is at 30 minutes or more. And if you're doing real quick shorts, I'd say still keep it at 10 minutes. My network rep says 4, but I always say 10 if you can try to do it. So really there's a bunch of things you can do, but the main thing is just to get a channel up and running and put up about 10 videos. That's what I tell everybody. I've done a little work on the side to get a business or two off the ground. They decided not to go forward with it when they realized it was them actually presenting their storefront and, promoting their business. They had some glamour idea that it was going to magically change into something more, and unfortunately it doesn't. So that becomes a real issue, and when you finally realize that it is actually you or your storefront and your people and all this other stuff, you get kind of traumatized. Well, it's up to you whether or not you want it to be successful. A lot of people don't want the internet traffic. A lot of people don't want to be on camera. And so you can't make your employees sign waivers to things that don't have to do with everyday work. That's everything from gun shops to, your day at work. If your company wanted to promote a YouTube channel, let's say you were an engineering firm and you have awesome projects you're working on, you're, building turbos for trucks or, engine mounts and doing really awesome things, and you want to do a YouTube channel. Well, in theory, it's a great idea, but unfortunately, your people have to start actually promoting it, and they have to start doing work too, and that's when things basically go down the crapper. So I think for starters, what you need to do is you need to do a test. And I always tell people, get about 5 to 10, if not 15 videos up and running and uploaded. That means on YouTube. And decide whether or not you are happy, whether or not they are even making views, and whether or not you can actually go forward with that. And people have this kind of concept, and I know I already said this, but they have a concept in their head that if they do this and they know Joe down the street is doing this and he's making $3,000 a day, or $300 a day. Well, Joe's been doing it since, 08, 09, or 2010. So he's put his time in, he's probably bought views, probably bought subs, which is an actual thing you can do, but it takes a lot of money. A lot of my YouTube channels that I have actually started from making absolutely $0, and I was able to invest the money I bought, or I made on YouTube, and I was able to basically put that money into my channel to build it up. Now, if I was able to do that, why don't I have 100,000 views a day and 10 million subs? Well, that stuff costs money. And if you do it too often, YouTube takes your channel down, hits you up for copyright violations, all kinds of things. So you really got to know what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it, and everything else. And you'll learn it as you go into it, basically. You'll learn about fair use policy, sourcing, whether or not you want to do a personal blog, whether you want to do something for your church, you got to get permission, all sorts of things. So the best thing I can say is if you want a YouTube channel, chances are you already know the subject you want to actually do a YouTube channel on. I cannot actually choose that for you. My youngest nephew has a gaming channel. Unfortunately, he does not upload. So he doesn't make a lot of views. He doesn't do much with it. And then he's always complaining he needs, the card that hooks up to his gaming system, and he's not happy recording it with his phone camera, or he's not happy with the camera that he was bought, for Christmas. So he's really making up all these excuses why he doesn't have 300 videos on there that are making him some money, making him some views, so that he can go out and buy the actual items in question that he actually wants to use on his channel. So it's actually slightly his fault that his channel is not at or above where mine are. And I can, last 2-3 weeks, better part of a month, I put up 2 channels where they're constantly making views per day. It's a lot easier once you know the formula and the algorithms and everything in the background and know how to basically source everything in your title, get everything out there, do all your tags the way you want them to be, and everything in between. And we'll kind of go into that in a little bit, but I just kind of want to spend the first 10-15 minutes going over what to actually expect, because when you start putting up videos, folks, it is going to be you in that room with your laptop camera on, or using some kind of broadcaster, live streaming, whatever you're doing, and you are literally going to be you doing that, and that is what it's going to be until you turn it into where you have 500 videos, 800 videos. I had over 1,150 videos on one of mine. I thought it was a smart idea to delete like 400 of them, and it turned out to be a total cluster mess. But luckily, I'm almost up to the point I was before, and so I had absolutely, well, I didn't really hurt myself, but it did kind of hurt me in the long run, because everybody comes in, they see a video, they watch it for 10 seconds, 20 seconds. If you don't gauge their attention, nobody cares. Nobody's watching. So don't be surprised if it says, oh, you got 500 views in 2 weeks, and you go through all your channel specs and you find out that people are watching 20 seconds of your video, and that's it. Well, you're not going to make everybody happy. The only way you do that is by getting a lot of traffic, and the only way to get a lot of traffic is to get a lot of views and get a lot of subs and to basically get a lot of videos out there. And it is kind of a test market. I've seen a lot of people who go with the quality versus quantity part, and where they'll upload a lot of videos, or they'll only upload one quality video they think everybody will love. And then, when their video falls apart and they've been working on it for 3 weeks, what do? Well, 3 weeks of their life is down the tubes. Because when they could be doing a day-to-day update video on, whatever they're into, say sports news, or I don't know, some of the girls I know like fashion, or one of them used to be a cam chick, and she used to make like $9,000 a day, but that wasn't on YouTube. That was through some other channel she ran, but that was a little while ago. And I imagine she's probably making a crap load more money, but that's not really the best, because people can, backtrack your IP address, and then it just turns into a stalker situation. So that's why I try to be as low-key as I can with what I do, how I do it, and kind of go from there. So a lot of people ask what my first channel was about. Well, you see, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, I remember doing these stupid exercises where every day before you started class, whether it be your middle school days, high school, etc., you'd have to sit there and you'd have to find a newspaper article and you'd have to talk about it. I hated doing these stupid things. I did. Because nothing I ever really wanted to talk about, nothing I ever really found was going to be the best. You'd always have the jocks going first, talking about, woo, the pep rally. Or, the nerds doing, today in science, the square root of the hypothesis decided to, and everybody's asleep. So I was always kind of the political geek, kind of the tech geek. So I found a couple subjects, and I went with it. And 5 videos turned to 10, 10 turned to 25, 25 turned to 100, and soon I was off. And now it's a almost 3.5 million view current events channel on YouTube. Some of the subjects aren't the best, but majority make good views, and they give a little cash in my pocket, so it's good. When you monetize and everything else, so that's kind of the idea. So I'll show you that one in a little bit, but not right now. First thing I want to do is really just kind of go into the basics. Before you get into any of this, you need a Google account. That's what I tell everybody. If they can't create their own Google account, I'm not going to do it for them because that's not my situation. You can create a Google account almost automatically. So there's a lot to this, folks. And I have about 6 or 7 sources that I'm going to put up in this, along with basically my experience and everything on how to do this. So what I really want to talk to you about first is just subject matter. If you're doing something on crafting, let's say you make crafts. I know my sister makes those diaper cakes, and she wanted to do something, a channel on how to do diaper cakes and how to do this and how to do that. Well, she got to a point where she had 2 or 3 videos, and then she drew a blank on how to do more. Well, she was frustrated. She never did anything more because she didn't realize that not only did she not break up her videos into 3 or 4, that after 3 or 4 videos, she ran out of ideas, and that was that. And that's what happens with a lot of people. That, or, they get stardom, frustrated, or rage quit, as people call it now. And that's basically when the reality sets in that you need to do a whole lot of work to make a lot happen that basically might never happen. So before you do this or do that or anything else, ladies and gentlemen, just make sure you do it and make it safe for you, for your family. There's a lot of laws you need to follow now, folks, especially if you're planning on covering your face or doing anything that might harm another's reputation. And it's just unfortunate, ladies and gentlemen. So what I have for you is I have a WikiHow site. I have my How to Tech, or MR How to Tech background, so you can see what a starting channel looks like. I have a YouTube person who's already put up a How to Start a Successful YouTube channel. I'm not going to show everything, but I'm just going to quickly glance at that person. One. I have an eHow Create a YouTube channel. I have Entrepreneur article on how to create a YouTube channel. And I have a Create a New Channel. Once you have your YouTube or your Google account up and running, and this is going to be what you will follow to actually do this. So this one is quite easy to do, and everything else. I will not be going over money or anything else. I'm just going to basically get you to a point where you can upload videos, and the rest is really up to you. What you do with that is up to you. But I wouldn't put anybody in it or anything major until you learn the ins or the outs, especially if it's damaging to people's reps and other things. You're going to call me a square and a lot of things, but ladies and gentlemen, just like video games today on internet and everything, the police are watching everything. I mean, they have servers full of new police officers who monitor YouTube for, political comment or dissenters, all kinds of different things, and they have new laws in place. Say one thing one way one time, you're probably in a heap of trouble, and it's not worth it, folks. So I'm trying to expand my YouTube horizon, if you will, to where I have 4 or 5 channels up and running that are making me, let's say $500 to $1,000 each. So that, when I get to a point where they're making me $5,000 each, I can either sell them off or give them off to family and friends and let them do their own stuff on it, or something else, along with what I do for a living, everything else. So, without further ado, so anyways, I keep my Google and get that. Go to YouTube. Basically, I'll leave this in the description below. Find this, and this is basically what you need to do to create a channel. With Google account, you can watch, like, subscribe. Google accounts don't come with a YouTube channel by default. Without a channel, you have no public presence on YouTube. To upload, comment, make playlists, create a public YouTube channel. Currently, this can't be done in Android or iOS YouTube apps, blah, 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 blah. But basically, get your computer up and running and do this. Create a personal channel with your name. Create a channel with a business or other name. Make sure you're signed into YouTube, which I basically told you, get your Google up, get your to youtube.com. Create a channel. Then you basically go into your Google account, name and photo, blah, blah, blah. Let's see if this is... Okay, this one here will also work for your personal accounts, and this is probably better. On your computer, in a mobile browser, make sure you're signed into YouTube, which is great. It's always great. I love it. Go to all my channels, which is great. And if you're signed into YouTube with your Google account, you can just come here and click this. If you want to make a YouTube channel for Google Plus pages that you manage, you can choose it here. Otherwise, choose Create New Channel, which you'll have to do to set up your channel with a different Google name. Okay, that's cool. So follow this and it'll tell you how. And then fill out the details and create your new channel. Learn about more. You won't have to do this bottom part, but if you're completely not tech savvy, don't even try this, because this gets complicated real quick, and then you're gonna think you did something super that you didn't, and it's just gonna be a mess. And then basically, you'll have to set up your options as you decide on how to do this. Like I said today, folks, my bandwidth is kind of bad, but basically this is coming from Entrepreneur, how to start a YouTube channel. Basically, to go through the whole thing, you need a Google account. You can create one for your business or set up a Google YouTube account from scratch, basically for not, for a personal or non-personal account via your Gmail. And if you want to create a new Gmail or a new Google account, you can do that. It takes like seconds to do a Google account. Well, minutes maybe. And then basically, you can have multiple channels on one Google account, so you may not want to use your main Google account for your channels. You might want one for your family and one for your Google accounts later. So currently there's no such thing as specializing business account or YouTube channel for businesses. That's not technically true. Although chances are you won't have to get into the business section where AdWords and other ones ask you for like $150,000 donations to beef up your channel. So I wouldn't even bother to look at that. And unfortunately, this is going to go into some stuff, and I'm not going to listen to this. So it'll tell you exactly the same thing I just told you to do. Sign in, create an account, create a new Google account, or if you already have one, just sign in, you'll be fine. And then do what I told you to do. Go to your, your channel options, which I just told you how to get to. Which is right here at the bottom. Go to all my channels, and then it'll walk you through create a new channel. And then you'll be able to do a whole bunch of things like that. And then once your channel's up and running, I can show you how to get all that done. I do not want to join our letter. But basically, this is not going to do anything major. You're going to add a photo at some point. But main thing is just to get a couple videos going and watch how you don't make any views whatsoever until you have like 5 or 6 videos running, probably better part of 10 to 20 minutes each, which you're going to find out is fantastically hard to do on topics you're soft on. And from that, ladies and gentlemen, you can then style what your videos are, what your channel is like, what your picture is like, and how to do everything from there. This is basically just a beginning how to get it up and running. Now here's a how to create a YouTube channel. Anyone with a Google account can create a YouTube channel and personalize a company or organization or your own personal account. Okay, they're going to actually tell you how to do this, so this is going to be awesome. Basically, step 1. When you're signed into Google and you have everything, you're going to click on your creator account. Sign into YouTube, click profile icon, and then click Creator Studio button. You must create a channel to upload videos. Create a channel. Click the Create Channel link to create your YouTube video. Customize your channel. Step 1. This is what your channel will probably look like at some point. Your picture. This. Everything else. Continue. Select your name you want to use on YouTube. Continue to proceed with your Google account name. Oh, this is all your Google account stuff. Okay, so you've already done your Google account stuff. Go there. This is your Creator Studio. And you go to Channel. There's no videos on your channel. Go to Dashboard. Go to View Channel. And then basically view your channel. You're going to learn about your channel art. Your photo is going to be over here. And then basically you're going to set up your About page at some point. And then you're going to have 5 or 6 videos running. And everything's going to be good. At some point you're going to basically come down to Upload. You'll click this button right here. And you'll be able to select from your desktop or other places where you have your videos stored, where you can upload, and then you can do your title and everything else. I'm not sure I want to go into the advanced section because this is not really the best. Building your audience and stuff is for higher up people. You just want to get a couple... You just want to get some videos up and see if it's something you can actually keep going, because most people either can't or won't or don't like that it's actually them. This is somebody's how to start a successful YouTube channel. I was going to do Jacksepticeye's, but I decided not to. So her URL is going to be here. I may or may not put Jacksepticeye on here. I'm not even going to go into it because I don't know who that person is. I'm just referencing it at this point. This is the WikiHow. It's going to tell you to do the exact same thing, ladies and gentlemen. Part 1, channel creation. Go to YouTube. Sorry, folks. Go to YouTube, log in with your Google account. When you're logged in, you'll see your name and user at the top of the menu. Click access to your user page. Sorry, folks. There we go. You can do channel art and stuff once you get videos uploaded, but right now it's not necessary. Describe your channel and everything is fine. Describe your channel. You can edit your channel name eventually if you don't like it, but I wouldn't keep changing it because it changes it everywhere else. You can edit on Google Plus, doing your picture and everything. This is just weird stuff here. I'm not even going to go into this because, to be honest, this isn't the best. And for all you do is get your Google account. From Google, folks, you will basically upload your, or do a Google channel. And from those steps, you will upload a few videos, and you will watch as most of them probably don't make anything as far as a channel or as far as views because you are quote-unquote a nobody on the internet most of the time. You can be the cutest chick there is. You can be the cutest guy if that's what you are. But, you know, you're not going to be a star overnight, ladies and gentlemen. You're not going to wake up and get 5,000 views. You're not going to wake up and get 500. Your first channel might get, or your first video rather, might get you a view every 2 days, every 3 days, every month or two. And if you don't keep uploading every day, every week or so, you're not going to have any traffic. So in the next video, we'll cover tags, uploading a video. I will probably start on monetization because there's a lot on that, and I don't feel comfortable showing that. That is going to probably be an adult-only video. And because it may be an adult-only, you may have to watch it with a parent because it will go through like the tax information and setting up things with your 1099 and doing things related to that, depending on whether or not I want to get that descriptive, and that will definitely be for a paid service, and I'll have to write that down and get that running. And so that'll be good for you, but that'll definitely take some time to get into, and that'll definitely be up to you to actually say, I want to do this, I don't want to do this. So there's a lot here. In order to start a YouTube channel, you actually have to get your Google account up and running. Click on that, go to the Google, where was it? Hang on, let me find it for you. Go here, go to this page here. You'll be able to go to all channels, and you'll be able to create a new channel. And then you can basically go to I think it's this one. Well, my internet's freezing for some reason, but there will be your stuff. So, and you'll be able to go to that page and upload your video, which will be awesome. I'm trying to see if I can get to a point where, yeah, that page is not the one you wanted to create your YouTube channel. But I will put it here. Hang on one sec. Here we go. So, once your YouTube channel's up and running, you'll be able to go to an upload button and be able to drag or drop videos here, or click on the button, and you'll be able to basically link your video files you did and put them online, as long as they're like AVI, MP3, MP4, I forget all the stats that they need to be. and kind of go from there. Do a couple test videos and then start on, doing quality videos after that, just to kind of gauge whether or not you're going to be successful. And success is going to be over a period of about, I'd say, better part of 2 or 3 months. And by that time, well, I can upload as many as 10 videos a day on one channel. So I don't do a whole lot of content editing, which I should. But on one of my channels, I can get about $500 to $1,000 a month. So that is very awesome. I promised you I would show you that I've actually done that sort of thing. So I will actually do that. And one of the things I will show you are a few of my channels. Glamorous, but they work. Okay, so for a starting channel, ladies and gentlemen, this is the MR How to Tech. I did this about 3 days ago. One of my videos has 11 views, one of them has 6, and one of them has 4. I had 9 views, but you're going to say, oh, add up, these are more than 9. How? Well, I click a few of them and drag the line all the way through to get them going so that they actually make some views. It's actually not a bad thing to do, but you can only do it 2 or 3 or 4 times, otherwise it's not going to work. So what I'm going to do from this point on, this is what you're going to see when you get your channel up and running. And you have everything going. And this will be awesome. See? So this is actually going to be pretty awesome. And so here's one of mine, America 2.0. And as you notice, I have 3,256,000 views and just about 15,000 subscribers. Now I won't kind of go into the buying subscribers and buying views until the second or third or maybe even fourth video. But if you want to actually make money on this, if you actually want something done within the next month or 2 or 3, you're going to have to do some kind of purchasing. Especially if you don't want to make a penny for the first 8-9 months. Because that's what you're going to have to do. I'd started off with this, and it's a pain. Now here's another one of mine, Gamers Den. 4,616 subscribers, 243,000 views, and this is the video I put up today. It's not the best, but you know what? It's already gotten 59 views, which is outrageous for this channel. I usually don't even get 20 views or 10 views. So this is actually quite amazing that I got this many. I want to tell you, it's put in a good 6 months to see anything come out of these. And it starts with your uploading. You can put 2 or 3 teaser videos, you can do anything you want, and then you guys start finding out how to use the softwares, how to do editing through various things. I used to use Windows Movie Maker, but really the stuff that I was putting out, I didn't really have to do a lot of editing, even though I should do on this one. But it all kind of comes together in the end. You learn how to use like XSplit and various OB softwares and how to monetize, how to tie these into your Twitch, Twitter, Facebook pages, Instagram, all your social media stuff. And really, when it comes down to it, folks, you're going to have to learn to do a lot. And I've told you stories about how businesses didn't want to do it because they found out that it would actually be them in their store doing it, and they had a big Hollywood idea, and they realized that it was not for them. And how their employees didn't want to participate in it, and long list of things. And how my nephew wanted to do it, but he's always talking about, oh, well, he needs the video capture card, and he needs the camera. Well, no, what you need to do is you need to put, if you're doing a video game page or something, there's people who are making money, and they just put the camera they have, the 80s, 90s, 2000s, early 2010s, 2020s, camera. I know 2020s aren't here yet, but you get the idea. They put the camera on, something, and they record what they're doing. Just like if you're doing a video game or a sporting event or something like that. You do a news article or something. And then you capture it on your video capture system, which would be XSplit or anything you download off the internet and you use, and you go from there. It's really up to you how to do this, folks. The ladies got it easier. They can probably just put up a couple videos of them twerking, if they have a nice shape and, look pretty and stuff, and they can make probably $100 a month or so in the first year. Just doing twerking videos and, fooling around with other girls, pillow fights and nothing really weird, just, goofing off and this and that, laughing and everything. But make sure it's age appropriate. Make sure it's not behavior that's going to get you into trouble. Make sure you're not talking about people and doing things that is going to come back at you. Some girls, are like, 5 months later, well, I don't like you in the video, I'm going to take it down. And, it's got 500,000 views. And so if you got to monetize, you're going, whoa, 500,000 views. That means I'm making, $1,000 a month off that video. I'm not taking that down. And someone's going, well, I'm telling you to take it down. And now you're in a huge dilemma, so don't put anybody in your video that's going to come back at you. Don't do anything that is going to come back at you. I could start a channel tomorrow on, how adult comic books, or adult coloring books, rather, are becoming a trend. And go from there. And in 6 months to a year, I could be making $1,000 to $5,000 a month on that alone. So don't tell me that it has to be this industry, or you have to do your RC planes only, or you can't do a cooking show because of this or that, because you don't have a camera. Just start uploading. That's all I tell people. Get to a point where you upload, and then put 5, 10, 15, 20 videos down. Go through them, and then start uploading more, and then get your about page set up, get everything going, and that is how, ladies and gentlemen, you start a YouTube channel. Thank you. God bless, and everything else.